everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Veryn, and we are gonna go through some tarot decks. And if I sound nervous, because I am, so grab like a drink and settle in, because this is gonna be a time. Okay, so the deal is, in my journal, which is not related to tarot necessarily, but this is my segue. And this is me setting up the premise for why we're going through my tarot decks and to what end. And I have no clue if I'm going to break this into multiple videos, probably, but we shall see. Anyway, we're in February, which is right here. This is my year ahead spread in my journal. I did my journal stack video last week. I will link that up above in the cards. Anyways, we're in February, and for me, February is my card for February is the Eight of Cups, which is all about moving away from things. It's all about going a different way. It's letting things go and moving beyond things that emotionally you were kind of connected to and that kind of stuff. You know what? Let's use a tarot deck as a friend. This is my Starseeker Tarot. The Eight of Cups. I'm just having trouble with my words. It's an emotional day. The Eight of Cups encourages you to release any emotional baggage you are carrying, particularly if you have been carrying the weight of someone else's problems or holding on to the pain of the past. It's time to move on and do what is best for yourself at this moment. I might cry multiple times during this, so just like buckle up. This card indicates a time of transition and release, asking you to let go of the heaviness in your life and embark on a journey of self-discovery or spiritual awakening. Consider spending more time on your own and giving a rest to any situations or relationships that hold you down. Follow your intuition and engage in things that bring you emotional fulfillment and meaning. So it's all about letting go and releasing. And the part that really stuck with me when I read this not that long ago was particularly if you've been carrying the weight of someone else's problems or holding on to the pain of the past, it's time to move on and do what is best for yourself at this moment. That part in particular. I got really scared when I pulled the Eight of Cups because I do have some trauma associated with it. And if you want to hear me talk more in depth about this stuff, I'm going to be going live with my members to do some specific purging and decluttering that is a bit intense for the public YouTube. And I'm sure I'll talk a lot about that. So you can check out the channel membership. Anyways, for me, the way it turns out, hold on, rewind. I'm emotional, so we're a bit of a mess. We're just going with it. I always get afraid when I pulled the Eight of Cups. I got afraid because I do have a very traumatic thing that happened when I had the Eight of Cups last time a couple years ago. And then also, I just get scared. Certain tarot things just like trigger intrusive thoughts, as does everything else in life. So it's something I'm just navigating. As it turns out, for me, how this Eight of Cups month has been manifesting is in literal letting go and releasing. I've been processing a lot of emotions, like a ton, and like I'm exhausted and I'm kind of grumpy about it at this point. And we've done a huge declutter on our house. We've let go of things that we thought we wanted to hold on to. And what kind of clicked it in my head of this Eight of Cups was I have a couple items from a specific past trauma that at the time I got those items, they brought comfort to me while I was struggling and grieving. And nowadays, I see them, they don't bring me comfort, they don't bring me joy, they don't bring me peace. It feels a lot like just heaviness. And so I was like, shit, I wonder if this, letting go of stuff like that, counts as the Eight of Cups. And I asked a friend and they were like, absolutely, that totally makes sense for Eight of Cups. And so I've just been sitting here today thinking about this and looking at my tarot decks. And recently I put a whole bunch of tarot decks. Let me show you. We're going to take a little tour. Recently I put all of these, there's my foot, there's the tarot. All of those decks I recently put into Purgatory. That cabinet part of my desk opens and has a bunch of storage, except there's like nothing in it. But recently I went through and I divided out my decks and I took everything that I was unsure of, that I thought, I don't know if I want to keep this. Some things I definitely don't want to keep. Some things I think maybe I want to put effort into learning still, but I'm not sure. So I divided them and I put them away. And now I'm sitting here and I'm like, I think I need to go through these and some other things in my house. But like I said, I'm going to be doing that with my members, like my journals, and some old spell bottle items. I think I need to go through my tarot collection with this lens of, am I holding on to this because of an old emotion that I need to just like allow myself to let go, so I have some room to breathe and some room for all the wonderful new emotions in my life? Because a lot has changed in my life since last year. And so that is what we're doing. That's the super long intro. I'm sorry that that was a bit more chaotic and long, but we're gonna look through my tarot decks slowly and honestly, and hopefully with my heart open and emotionally. I think I want a candle. Let's do that. Okay, I have a pink candle. Candle holder. I just really want to do this and have my heart be open. There has been so much amazing stuff in my life, and sometimes, I don't know if this happens to other people, sometimes I get really afraid to let stuff go, because I'm afraid if I'm letting go of a thing, then the importance that was tied to that thing, or the relationship that was tied to the thing, it's like a sign that something's wrong. This is the intrusive thoughts and how they work in my brain, and it's rough. I want some rose petals. One sec. I'm also going to put some amethyst. Rose quartz for just like a unconditional love. Amethyst for a healing. But I really do want some rose petals. Also some sage. This is what I was talking about. I think I mentioned it in my journaling video of like, yeah, I did. The idea that like, if everything you do with a magical intention becomes magic. But where the fuck are my rose petals is the question of this moment. I really don't know where my rose petals went. Oh, I've got some little ones here. Okay. Ignore the cat hair. All right, there we go. I have nope, accidentally blew it out. And for some reason, my candle, there we go, is being stubborn. I just want this to ignite a bit better. I just really want this process to be intentional. My words this year, if you've missed it, are grounded, present, and purposeful. And this is me trying to do things on purpose in a way that helps me. I hold on to a lot within me in the name of, like, I'm afraid of letting things go because I'm afraid wanting to let things go is a sign of bad. And I know that that's not healthy or true or rational. That's one of the harmful thoughts my brain likes to fuck with me and bully me with. For example, I have several decks that I'm holding on to because I was given them by my wife, and they represent, and to me that kind of like represents my relationship with my wife, and I'm afraid to let go of them because I'm afraid, like, there's this weird, it's part of my neurodivergent brain too, like it's trauma and it's also being autistic and black and white thinking and oversimplifying stuff. Okay, so that's going to sit there, and we're going to look at decks. I don't know what all we're doing, but we're just going to look at the decks with this lens of with this lens. So this is going to take time. It's not going to be fast. That's not the point of this. I might break it into parts. We will see. Okay, so this is the Under the Bed Tarot. I got this on a whim from someone. God, that it is very nice cardstock and a very nice shuffle. As you can see, it's in like pristine condition. I got this from someone. You know what? We're going to put this on this side instead because I shuffle on like more to this side. So if I put this on this side, then it's less of a fire hazard. It is still burning, but you're not going to see it. This is the Under the Bed Tarot. I got this from someone on a tarot trade post. And I just have to be very careful with this candle, and I'm not quite sure where to put it. That's fine. Sorry. This was created in the vein of creating a completely open, inclusive deck by making it like monsters under the bed. I think it's really cute, and I've never actually done anything with it. I have the guidebook somewhere. Here's the guidebook. I fucking opened to the Eight of Cups. Listen, sometimes the universe really does like to be an asshole to me. Eight of Cups. To be blunt, this is the fuck these cups card. You are just capital D done with this situation. And to be honest, you should be. Just leave. It's time. Basically, this card in the reverse position means you're putting off doing what you need to do, namely smashing all these cups and piecing out. However, there's a bit more wiggle room about what that looks like in the reverse position. For instance, if the card is referencing a relationship, it could be enough to have a super hard conversation and start actively working to repair things rather than breaking up. On some level, you already know the answer to this question, so listen to your higher self on this one. I opened to the 8 of Cups. Are you kidding me? Okay. This is this really adorable deck that I got. And I've never really felt drawn to use it. I think this can go. I don't know what I'm going to do with these decks. I'm probably going to post them on a tarot trade post. If you see anything and you are interested, then shoot me an email. My email is in the description box. And like put the subject. So for example, if you are watching this and you're interested in the Under the Bed Tarot, then in the description, send me an email. My email is thecraftedwitchery@gmail.com. It's in the description box. Send me an email called Under the Bed Tarot. And then, or if you want multiple decks, be like tarot trades, something like that. So I know what it's about. And let me know what you're interested in. I am open to trades. There's definitely decks I want. You have to keep in mind I am in Canada. So keep in mind for shipping. Generally what I do otherwise, if it's not like a trade, is I essentially just want the shipping covered plus a little extra. I don't care for a lot of like getting my money back. Like I really don't. I tend to just round up the shipping a little bit, so I have like a bit of pocket money. So this can go. That can go. This is my Dame Darcy's Witchy Cat Tarot. This one is super, oh God, it is so cute and so theatrical. This makes me think of my wife. I was upset that it didn't come with a guidebook. I got this not that long ago. I've shuffled it, but I've never really read with it. Let's give it a shuffle because it's fun. I got this wanting to use it as like my Halloween deck, but I don't. And I don't really know that I want it. I do still have the box for this. I put the box in storage just recently. But I do still have the box for this. And I have this absolutely perfect matching Peggy bag. That's the backs. And like this match is perfect. This one, I don't know if it's going to go elsewhere because I feel like I need to offer this to my wife first because this deck makes me think of her. So it just kind of doesn't feel like mine. I wish it did. I feel very out of body doing this right now, but I'm going to offer this to her, but that can go out of my collection. Crystal Grid Oracle cards. These ones can go. I've always known these could go. I don't do any gridding. These were a little gift I was given. It's very nice. It literally has grids and tells you like what it is. So this one's a grid of acceptance. It shows a picture and lists what it is. Black basalt, budstone, snowflake obsidian, Kesara stone, and black tourmaline. So this is really cool if you like gridding and you kind of want to divine grids. Like you want to intuitively divine and pick a grid. So there's that. That can go. I've known for a while that can go. The Terra del Fuego. This is another one I got in like a trade to check out that I never actually used. And I really don't think I care about this. The thing is, apparently I'm just going to be ruthless today, because so far we've looked at 4 decks and they're all fucking going. The thing is with me, first of all, we haven't gotten to any of the hard decks yet. Second of all, I don't really care if I get rid of a deck and I end up repurchasing it. Like, that doesn't bother me. That has in fact happened. So for example, I gave my sibling, my dream, what the hell is this called? Oh, holy crap. The Dream Vision Tarot. I gave my first edition Dream Vision Tarot to my sibling-in-law because they fell in love with it. And then I missed it. And then someone had this available, and I love the second edition. And I got it back, and that doesn't bother me. I don't care. Like, it truly doesn't bother me. I'll just re-get a deck. I don't have any out-of-print decks. Actually, I've had an out-of-print deck. I had the first edition of the Marielle Tarot, and I gave it to, or I sold, when I decided it wasn't for me, which I do kind of regret. I sold it to Danny Mystic, because I remember she had talked about how much she wanted it. I wanted Danny to have it because she really wanted it. And I had a copy, and at the time it wasn't working. Now I really miss it. I also kind of miss my Weaver's Oracle, which that one I gave outright to my friend. So those are 2 I'm hoping to reacquire. Or I'm considering the Marielle I definitely want to reacquire. Next up, the Ostara Tarot. Okay, so this one's hard. First of all, I love these backs so much. This one's hard because some of the art in this is absolutely stunning, and I love it so much. And some of the art in it, I just don't. And like this freaks me out. I don't know why I feel so connected to this deck, but I never actually, like, use it. But I don't think... Oh, God, this card. This card is one of my favorite images. Oh, this is my daily card. And it pains me that I accidentally damaged it. Like, these... Okay. I've never actually done anything with this deck, but I cannot let it go. I don't understand why, but it is so very... It's an Ostara Tarot. That's probably why. I'm literally an Ostara fucking baby. My birthday is just in the beginning of fucking Aries season. God. Anyways, this one we're going to keep. And I'm going to keep it out, in fact. Currently, we're just going through my Purgatory decks. We'll probably get to my brain. Hello. You'd think we'd get to my brain. Alas, it's not very helpful. Okay, this one's a hard one. This is my Moon Oracle. I don't even remember who it's by. I used this a lot. This was actually one of the first decks I used with my moon readings. I believe this is still in print. Let's find out. I got this in 2020. Carolyn Smith. It looks like it's still in print. So this deck has a bunch of moon mansions this deck has goddess cards, then it has moon mansions, then it has the moon phases. And I used to use this for moon readings, and it was wonderful. And then I used it for a client to test doing moon readings for others. And then it's kind of, it felt like it got mad at me. Honestly, at the time, what I think happened is I took something that was supposed to be a special me thing, and I shared it. I've come a long way since then. And I've kept this deck in the idea of studying it, because it's based on an astrological practice of the moon mansions, but I just don't know if I'm going to. And then as I'm looking at these cards, it's like, well, I could put this out when the moon changes signs. I could put out the moon phase card and follow the moon, and that's kind of a cool idea. I'm gonna put this one's really hard, so I'm not going to decide this one right now. I'm gonna put this aside and maybe talk about it more with my members. Okay. I don't even remember what the hell's in this one. Oh, that's because this wasn't mine. This was my wife's. And then I kept it because I like the dragon art, but I don't even remember what it's called, but it's a dragon oracle deck. It's really pretty. I thought about cutting these off and rounding and just having a beautiful dragon deck. Like, this is really quite adorable. And I can't lie, there is a part of me that wants to keep this for the art. Oh, I might. Some of these are really stunning images. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Because if I do this, watch, let's do this. Now I just have this adorable little dragon art card that I can stick in a journal. I can stick on my wall somewhere. So yeah, I'm going to do that. This is going to be an art project. This crap can go. Wonderful. I'll just get rid of any that I don't like. So this we're keeping, but it's an art project. So I'm going to keep it out of the bag. My bag I'm keeping. Great. New Chapter Tarot. I don't even remember when I got this. I do remember, I think I got this. I got this because I thought it would pair really well with, and I was correct, my, well, another deck I have here. My Star Codes Astro Oracle, which I got and I love, and I don't actually use. I did a whole fucking video comparing this to the Heavenly Bodies, and I don't actually use it. I don't use astrology in a divination kind of way like that. But I got the New Chapter Tarot because I thought it would go well with the Star Codes Astro Tarot, and like, look at it. It does. But I don't care. Quite frankly, I just don't care. I kept this a bit more because it's got a heron on the back, and heron is a spirit guide for me. I did some work with my Indigenous friend, and they told me they felt a heron connected to me. So I'm going to get rid of this. Well, this feels more in line with like the direction I'm going with decks. I don't know why I'm hedging. Should I keep this deck? Should I get rid of it? Okay. I don't know why I'm hedging on this one. I'm going to put it aside to sit for just a little bit. My Star Codes Astro deck, since it was in the pile and I already have it out. This one, I don't think I'm going to get rid of because I've used this before with spell work. I've used these as like altar cards for spell work. I adore the art on this. It's absolutely stunningly gorgeous. So I don't think I'm ready to get rid of this one. Even though I've used it a couple times for altar cards, but that's about it. How perfect of a match is this bag though? Oh my gosh. Okay, so that I'll keep for now. And this I'm putting aside with my Moon Oracle. Oh, this next one's hard. Okay, this is hard for multiple reasons. This is my Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Oh. This deck is hard because this deck is everything I actually tend to use and look for in a deck. Most of my decks that I use regularly have a strong earthy vibe. And this is strong earth, it's strong pagan. The way I was using it, I'm no longer using it. I was using it for Wheel of the Year readings, and then I was using it for with my Seasons of the Witch Oracle decks, which I'm no longer doing. Oh god, that image. I have gone back and forth on this deck. I truly don't know what to do with this one. Oh, I don't think I'm ready to let go of this deck. I don't know what to do with it these days. I really do love, I used to use this for just doing a reading for like the season, when the seasons for the Wheel of the Year switched, which I might still do. I could still do that. I think I'm going to give that a try. Like, I would pull a reading with this on Imbolc or on Samhain or on whatever date. And I'm actually have been clarifying a lot how that stuff in my practice is flowing. And so I'm going to try using this for how I first used it. Because, so, okay, let me see. We're gonna play around a little bit. Okay, so here's my Witch's Wisdom Tarot. So I used to use this on its own for readings for like Samhain, etc. And then And then I started using it with my Seasons of the Witch Oracle, which was great. Like, the art does work quite well, but I wasn't feeling it. And then I recently got the idea when I was talking to my members about using it with using my Seasons of the Witch with the Wildwood Tarot. I'm sorry, not everything's going to be fully in frame, which is what I now do. So I use my Seasons of the Witch Oh, this all does go very beautifully together. I use my Seasons of the Witch Oracle for mostly everyday reading, where I pull a card for the energy, and then I pull the Wildwood for the obstacle and the advice. And this is like my conversation and my tapping in with the world. And it's not a perfect match art-wise, but all of them together are actually quite phenomenal. I think I'm going to do that. Okay. So what we're going to do here is the Wildwood Tarot was never in harm. This was the pagan deck I wanted, that I was afraid of years ago. I wanted this as soon as I saw it, but I was afraid of it. And this card always drew me to it. And then I would look at the deck and I would get scared because it's so fucking pagan. Look at that beautiful world tree. So the Wildwood Tarot was never in any harm. And my Seasons of the Witch Oracle was never in any harm either. I'm actually working on the stuff so I can do a video of my like Wheel of the Year because I've really been clarifying it. This is my daily card today from that. Keening. Hold on for just a moment in time, acknowledging before release and liberating what needs to be freed. That's what I'm doing. Last year, everything changed. And so I've really been trying to liberate myself. Just one quick thing I want to see, which is probably a bad idea to look at. I use my Songs of the Grandmothers Oracle for my moon return. That is very good artwork matching. Wow, extremely good. But no, I use this with my Tarot of Oneness, which let's just quickly, since we're already here and we're already just playing, let me just show you that. This is one of my favorite. I use these together. And yeah, that's how I like it. I use this because I use this for my moon return, and then my Tarot of Oneness, because it's first person, it's the deck I want to pull if I'm doing some very emotional stuff, and my moon return is very emotional, so we're not doing that. But the artwork of these together is quite phenomenal. Okay, and this was also never in jeopardy. I just had to move it out of the way to set up for filming. Okay, so we're going to keep the Seasons of the Witch. And it's going to be used for like a start of the season reading. Like I used to use it. That's the thing, like with the Moon Oracle, which I put aside, I used to use that for my moon readings, like full moon, new moon. That part of my practice has grown and evolved past using that deck. So I don't know if there's any purpose to holding on to that deck. There's not any purpose in that way. There's a new way I'm considering using that deck that could have a purpose, and could be good, but I'm not sure. So I put it aside to think about it. Oh, I adore this art. Okay. So I put that aside for that. Whereas my Wheel of the Year practice has not really grown and evolved. It's something I've tried and then like messed up and then tried again and messed up, and I've never quite gotten it. I really always loved when I did my like Imbolc reading and my Samhain reading, like the day, a reading for the holiday, a reading about that season with that deck. Anyways, so I'm excited to go back. This is one version of my Dreams of Gaia tarot. This version I bought both. I have the little and this one. I got this one for the big guidebook. And gave my wife these cards, and she doesn't use tarot or oracle, really. This has its own whole, like, system to it. I don't need the big cards. Though, for the record, this is absolutely my absolute favorite image in this deck. I don't need the big cards. So the big cards can go. The little cards, I'm not going to get rid of the guidebook, the big guidebook, if I keep this little deck. And I can't see myself getting rid of this little deck. I adore this. I feel like this is a deck I could intuitively read. Also, I've used this when working with and communicating with one of my deities. I don't think I'm ready to let this go, which means the big guidebook is staying. The cards itself can go. So if you might be interested in just the big, glossy Dreams of Gaia cards. So we're kind of looking at some of my decks I've kept out too. Most of, I can't see the decks I kept out really being an issue. Like really being stuff I want to get rid of. So that's not surprising. Anyways, this is the Herb Crafters, I think. This came with, this I actually got, it's not the Herb Crafters, that's a tarot deck. This is the Hedge Witch's Field Guide. And I actually got this because I got this in a Witch's Moon box. So I actually have the hardcover book. I don't care about this. I have never cared about this. It was given to me. So if anyone wants this, it comes with a very nice book. It did not come with a box. It literally came in a bag like this. But it does come with a very nice hardcover guidebook. So if anyone really loves this deck and wants, like, even if they already have cards, you could take the cards and have, like, backup and then have the nice, beautiful book. But so this can go. That can definitely go. Believe in your own magic. Oh goodness, this deck and I have really gone back and forth. And I'm not sure what to do. I got this deck for Christmas and I cried. And I've never really used it. I love some of the images. This lioness is so beautiful. I love all of the images. This artwork is absolutely stunning. But I don't know that I need this. I don't think I do. I got this because I saw it on Lisa's channel and it's got amazing body diversity. And I cried opening it, seeing bodies that looked like mine. But I don't think I need it. I don't think I need this. I'm not sure. I think someone in my life might need this. I'm not sure who. So, but that can go. Anatomy of a Witch Oracle. Okay, this is relatively new. And I got this because I have the book. And I wanted to work with both together. That's, in fact, something I tried to do on this channel. But I don't really understand this. I'm going to get rid of this. It can go. If I miss it, I will reacquire it. I do still have the book, Anatomy of a Witch, which I do still plan to read. So, like, maybe I should just store this until I've read that book. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to store that until I've read the book, and then I'll decide. Okay, the Tarot Fauna. I need to look at it with this bag because I got this giant thing. These are the Animal Allies Oracle 1 and 2. There's 2 separate decks. And there's the Tarot Fauna. And, like, I got these. And I literally, like, look at the backs. I got these to go together. I wanted the Tarot Fauna. And I wanted this. But I don't ever use this. I've had the Animal Allies 1 and 2 for a while. And I reference it. I reference these if I'm getting animal symbolism come up. And that's it. This is a hard one because it's hard for me to get rid of decks that are very earthy. Because a lot of the work I do, I work with the earth element a lot. Give me a second. I gotta go just put down my necklace. These ones are really hard because I don't really know how I'd use these. This is really nice quality, by the way. I have no clue. I really don't know what to do with these. I don't feel like I'm holding on to them because I'm, like, emotionally attached. I feel like I'm just unsure. And for now, I'm going to stick to the when in doubt, don't. I do really love this deck. I am such a sucker for earth decks, as it turns out. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to hold on to these until I have some kind of better understanding. I might talk about these ones more with my members when I do that live. So I'm going to add those to that pile. Those are definite. Those are definite. Okay, cool. This is a hard one. These are all hard ones, and they're all the same thing, so we're going to look at them together. So first of all, this is my second copy of the Wild Unknown Tarot. I had a full-size copy, and then I gave it to a friend. And then this is the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, which my wife gave me. And then this is the Wild Unknown Archetypes. Okay. For the tarot, this is so witchy. This is so witchy, and I love it. I think this kind of got buried, and I want the full size. I'm happy to still keep the in a tin. In fact, so I guess news, my wife and I went poly. So if you have any problems with that, well, take them and fuck off. Fuck off, take your problems with you. My wife and I went poly over the summer. That was one of the big things. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because I have a partner. If I reacquire the full size, this is a perfect thing to put in my drawer at my partner's house. I'm not ready to give these up. There's hope when I look at these. I feel something positive and hopeful and potent when I look at these decks. I also think I want to maybe these are gonna stay. This one, oh, I've had some phenomenal readings with this. Just phenomenal. I just don't know what place it has in my life, but I want it to have a place. So that's what matters. Question is, do I want to reacquire this because I modded it and I didn't, like, I edged and then I didn't like it. And then I think I'm fine with it this size. Okay. So those are going to stay. Wonderful. We're making decisions over here. We like decisions. Decisions help us think. Okay. This one's super easy. I've known for a while this one is going. Yes, I still have it. You've probably seen this before. This was my wife's. I used it a lot. So when she got rid of it, I kept it. I don't give a shit about this. That can go. That's a hard can go. My Earth Magic Oracle cards. This one's harder because this one is sentimental. However, I have used some of these as journaling cards. Like I pull one and I put it in my journal. And I don't need this anymore. I don't need to hold on to this. This can go. This was my literal first deck purchase, but it can go. I don't care. The Goddess Guidance. There's a card in here that gets me. This is out of print. This is also like a hot ticket item. People really like this deck. This was the deck I wanted when I wanted a goddess deck. And I got a different deck, which I love and loved. And then I did get my hands on one of these. I couldn't let it go because, and this is Truly a good example of why we're here. I've held on to this for this card. This card is connected to some high emotional trauma. And the whole point of this is asking myself, do I need to hold on to these things? Is it bringing me comfort and ease and joy? Or is holding on to these things just bringing me pain? This needs to go. This is, for the record, because like this is an out of print deck and it's like a hot ticket item, I guess, or it used to be. This is a Doreen Virtue, just one. It still has her name on it, but that can go. I'm almost done going through these decks. This is the goddess deck that I was given by my wife. And it's stunning. And I don't think I need it. I think I'm ready for this to go, which is weird and hard to admit. And I feel like I need to check with my wife because I don't want to like hurt her feelings. I know she'll say it's okay. But like, oof. I'm going to ask her if it's okay with her if I get rid of this. Pretty sure she's going to say it's fine, but maybe I'll put a thing here to let y'all know if it's going, so that way it could be someone could purchase it if they want to. Okay, Sun and Moon Tarot. I bought this in 2020 during the pandemic because I wanted a tarot deck. And I wanted a tin one. I just had a craving and I picked this. And I do love the art. I literally have never used this. God, I love that image. I used to use this to just like, I would just shuffle and draw a card. I think I'm getting rid of this. Yeah, that can go. Don't need. Don't want, don't need. Away it can go. Oh dear. Hold on. Okay. I still have this fucking thing. If you've been here for a while, you will have watched me go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with this thing. Quite frankly, I'm annoyed at it. This is the Luna Soul Tarot. I got this one day rather impulsively. I'd seen some things and I realized that it was like a deck all about balance. And I grabbed it and I felt like in that moment that deck was made for me. And I used it a little bit and then I very promptly stopped using it. Now, I adore this card. I adore some of the art in this deck. And others, I just like, I don't get it. I love the Death card. Love the Temperance card. I'm getting rid of this. I'm tired of going back and forth with this deck. It is mass market. I can reacquire it if I want to. That can go. I'm so tired of going back and forth with that shit. The Wiser Tarot. I grabbed this because I thought I wanted to study a Rider-Waite-Smith. And I was like, if I'm going to do a Rider-Waite-Smith, I'm going to do... I want one that is done inclusively. And I do love that this has done that. I struggle with imposter syndrome about the fact that I don't have or ever really use RWS. I feel kind of like it invalidates me as a tarot reader because I don't use an RWS. I have some decks that are quite fairly clones. And I have lots of decks that are very strongly RWS. Like, I know these cards. There's something, though, about all this imagery and this, when you'd see a deck, when you'd see someone doing, like, tarot readings in media, in popular culture, it would be the RWS. They'd be flipping over these cards, and here you'd have these images. These are the images people expect when you say tarot. And that's, at first that was something that was problematic for me because I have trauma. I have religious trauma. And I didn't want to, I needed to at first divest myself, separate myself from that. I needed to not be attached to that. I've never really actually given, well, I've sort of tried this deck. I don't think I'm ready to give this up. I think I'm going to try it. I think I'm going to, like, actually try this somehow. Where's this deck from? Wiser Books. Duh. I'm going to keep that. Okay. Oh, this deck. This is my Shadowscapes. I had this deck. I gave it to a friend. I missed it. And I got it back. And it never really clicked for me. The art is stunning. I very much want the, like, I want this to be me. I very much want the new deck by this creator. I'm just wondering if I maybe want to, like, keep these images. The new deck by this creator that I want is the, I'm just looking at my list, the Tree Keeper's Oracle, I believe. I very much want that. That feels, yeah, it is. That feels like me. Stunning art style, but it's earth. It's earth. And so that's what I want. This actually kind of reminds me of some of the art in the Ostara Tarot. I don't know what to do with this. I think this can go. I love some of the cards so much. I adore this death card. This is mass market. I could get it again if I miss it. I'm like, I don't care if I get it back again. Like, that doesn't bother me. This temperance image is stunning. Yeah, I think this is gonna go. I don't know if I think I'm probably gonna keep the bag. Okay, let's do this one. The Little Odd Tarot. So this is the first print run from Kickstarter. 266 out of 280. This is another deck that I've gone very back and forth on. And I think that it can go to a new home. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really care about this. This can go. Love the color of the edging. Okay, so that can go. The Bonefire Tarot. I got this deck when I had Lisa Papez over on my channel. And she picked a deck and told me what to buy. And I bought this deck. And at the time, I was looking for a very fiery deck. And there were some decks I had on my list that I didn't have, that I thought she'd be surprised, and she ended up throwing the curveball and going with Bonefire, and I got this beautiful bag. I will definitely keep the bag, but this deck I'm pretty sure can go. I've never really felt drawn to it. What ended up happening at the time was when we started talking about, like when we went off script and started talking about decks that weren't on the list that I didn't have, this deck came up. And turns out I wanted Lisa to give me permission to tell me to buy this deck. I just was indirect. I adore this deck. This deck is not in any fucking danger. The Bonefire Tarot, though, that can go. The bag is going to stay, but I'm just going to put the deck in the tarot in the bag for now, so that way I have a place to put it. But my Peggy bag is going to stay, but that deck is going to go. My Ellis Tarot is in absolutely no trouble. Okay. This I was just given by a friend who finally came and I met her in person. And this was just a deck that belonged to her husband, who was my dear friend who died. And she gave me this deck, and it's just not really very me, and I don't know anything really about it. And I'm just... it's just not really me. And this doesn't feel very connected to that human, that, like, to Chris or Rana, and I love them dearly. I can't believe I got to meet Rana in person, and I can't believe still that Chris is gone. But this can go. Last one, which is 2, technically. The Soul cards, 1 and 2. that I, again, keep going back and forth on. And I did use these for a while with my... What did I use these with? I used this. Ooh, now I have to know. Hold on. It's somewhere in one of these old journals. Oh, I used it. I was correct. I used it with the Weaver's Oracle. I used to pull, this was one of the many things I tried with the moon. So I used to pull a Weaver, and then based on the numbers of the Weaver, I would pull an amount of soul cards. I am debating reacquiring the the Weaver's Oracle, but I don't want these. There's like one card that I'm very attached to. Where is it? Where's my favorite card? It's somewhere in here. Her. This is my favorite card. I love this image. I think I will keep that, maybe, but I'm not gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep the bag. Again, I'm sorry, I love y'all, but I also love my Peggy bags. I'm going to keep the Peggy bag. I'm not going to keep the soul cards. But I'm going to put that aside. Okay, so let's see. Let me do a tally. I have four decks that I'm looking at and considering still, that I need to talk out more with, like, my members behind the scenes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 decks that I'm keeping in some capacity, including the one that I'm just gonna like journal, like turn into like pretty dragon art cards. And then I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 19 decks are gonna go. This is my stuff that was in Purgatory. So 19 decks are going. Gone, going, gone. And then that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that I'm keeping, and 4 that I'm debating more. So over half are going. That feels really good. I actually did a purge of like my spiritual books too, and I got rid of half of those. I've been purging and decluttering a lot, and it feels excruciatingly good. And I'm going to stick with that description because that feels perfect, because it is painful and it is exactly what I need. And I'm going to cry talking about it too much. Stay tuned. I'm going to film, I'll go through the rest of my decks and check in with my wife about a couple of things. So stay tuned for part 2. It'll be another long one where I go through the rest of my decks and decide if I've missed any, how I feel about all the rest of them. I feel like at least most of them are pretty good, but we will see. So stay tuned. I will see you all later. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification. And I'll see y'all next week. Lots of love. Bye.